Good morning. God bless you. I want to invite your attention to the book of Kings, 1 Kings, the 19th chapter, verses 4 and 5. And it reads, "But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my father. And as he lay and slept under the juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat." We want to talk from the theme, Don't Give Up. And I want to read for you something I encountered as a college student on the campus of Central State University to encourage me when I was down. Don't quit when things go wrong, as they sometimes will. When the road you're trudging seems all uphill. When the funds are low and the depths are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is a quiz with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learn. And many a failure turned about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the cloud of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. And certainly want to encourage you with those words of that poem, because so many now in our world, in our communities, in this country, we decided to give up. There have been so many suicides, so many have decided that life was just not worth living and taking their lives. But I believe that life is worth living. And Jesus believed life is worth living. That's why he came, that we would have life and have life more abundantly. And so I want to talk briefly this morning from that theme, don't give up. And so as we look at 1 Kings, the 19th chapter, and to look at the life of Elijah, first of all, I want you to look at the pressures of life. Elijah is under pressure. He's under duress. He's under stress because Jezebel have decided to put a bounty on his life, to take his life. And Elijah is afraid. He's running out of fear, and he's running out of frustration. And sometimes the pressures of life, it does that to you. Your job, your family, your children, your spouse. It seems as though everything, the walls are closing in on you. But beloved, what I want you to do, even when it seems like all is going wrong, all is going bad, don't allow that to stop you from falling on your knees and looking toward God and asking God to guide you. You don't have to take your life. You don't have to give up on your life. Even though the pressures are, they're real, but you don't have to give up on your life. Elijah thought that dying would solve the problem, but dying don't solve the problem. And so he was dealing with the pressures of life, of a woman after him because of his victory on Mount Carmel. But not only do we see the pressures of life, we also see the problems of life. How many of us don't have a problem? But what I love about problems, every every problem needs an answer. If you want to be the next Jobs, if you want to be the next CEO of Amazon, learn how to deal with pressure. Come up with a solution. Because those who solve problems end up being successful. Right now, they're spending billions of dollars on a vaccine for this virus. Whatever company come up with the vaccine, the cure that solved the problem of the virus, they will become a multi-billion, trillion-dollar company and would have solved one of the worst health problems that we've had in almost a century. And beloved, that's why it's so important when you have a problem, don't try to hide it. Don't try to act as though that the problem is not there. You get in there, get in the mix, and solve the problem. One of the things about algebra that I love, it was so challenging. You had to put the right equation together to get the right answer. Yeah, math addition is easy because 2 + 2 is 4. But when you deal with algebra, it's difficult. You have to stretch your mind. And the problem that we have all the time with problems, we don't want to stretch our mind. We don't want to get out of our box. You got to get out your box. And you got to think on a different level. Jeff Bezos have not become a trillionaire because he thought like everybody else thinks. He used his ability to think like others don't think. Somebody gonna come up with the solution. It ought to be you. If you don't run from your problem. Elijah, you don't have to run from Jezebel. You don't have to be afraid of Ahab. God has already anointed and ordained you for this day. Then the people that's in your life that we have to deal with, and people want you to be like them, want you to think like them, look like them. And that's the problem with racism. Racism is where we all have to be the same. Blonde hair, blue eyes, got to have white skin. But that's not the standard for humanity. God made all of us different. We're not the same. Some of us are brown, some of us are red, some are yellow, some are tan, some have kinky hair, some straight hair, some curly hair. We're different. Embrace your diversity. Embrace your difference. Don't allow folk to put you in a box. It's a reason that Bezos is a multi-trillionaire. Elijah, you don't have to worry about Jezebel. I will talk about Jezebel a little while, but I got to move on. Not only the people in your life, but I want to tell you, you ought to get a prescription for your life. What it is good for you, and what's good for some is not good for all. Find out that which is good for you. What works for you. Everybody that goes to college don't pursue the same major. Some are in science, some are in the arts, some are in the social services. Everybody's different. Some go to be a lawyer, some a doctor, some an engineer. We're different. But what is the prescription for you? You don't have to give up. Learn how to hang in there. Learn how to stay. And Elijah, after he wanted to commit suicide, suicide falls asleep. And it's when we're sleeping that God can speak to us. Because after he awoke and drank the water and ate the bread, he was able to travel for almost 40 days, I believe. And when he got to the cave, that's when the presence of God, that's the prescription right there. That you get the presence of God. That allow God to govern your life. Allow him to guide you in your life. Allow God to guard your life. And God, if you put God first, all the other things you're seeking after, he'll give it to you if your heart is right. Don't give up, beloved. Continue to trust in God and continue to look to him. David said, I will look unto the hills whence cometh my help. And all of my help come from God. God bless you. Keep on looking up.